Hey everybody, I have a story I want to share. This story goes all the way back to when America was fighting over old monuments and decorations, public decorations that people disagree about whether or not it's offensive. And so, about this time, I walked up to a store, um, a grocery store, and out walked a man, a black man in his buggy and a tank top on and a cigarette hanging from his lip. And I just saw his eyes looking out in the parking lot, and I was wondering what he was looking at. And I don't want to make assumptions about what he saw, but what I saw when I looked out in the parking lot was a red truck and a teenager. He couldn't have been any more than 18 years old, was fixing a rebel flag into the cargo area of his truck like it was the cargo. And that kind of was a powerful suggestion. Like, that's the cargo of this big truck that you have, is a huge truck with big tires, and the cargo is a rebel flag. And I looked over to the left of him, and there was a fellow with a NASCAR shirt on and long, oily rat tail, and he just said, "Like your flag." And I just have what I want to express to you is I was floored. I wrote a line that wasn't going to get finished for years, but I had my fist in God's face as I was walking into that store. I was really, I think the right way to express this was I was actually pissed at God because what happened inside of me, where I was curious about what it was like for that man, and not being able to tell myself what all he's lived through or what he's experienced or what this is like for him. I would have to make a bunch of assumptions to go in that area, but just the possibility of what that could be like for him had me floored. And I think I was going in to buy chips, and I just felt like I was not rooted enough to see that. I don't know what that says about me. It may not say anything about me. I have no idea, but I just remember having my fist in God's face, saying like something like my roots aren't strong enough. Like, I feel too tossed about to know what to do when I see things like this so that I can be a part of this world in a good way. So that's when I wrote, "Please plant me well. The surface seems so many things. Please plant me well." And that's actually a poem that's published inside of my album, was written from seeing that black man and looking in his eyes and seeing him look out and see everything that I saw. I feel like it's safe to assume he at least saw those things. But um, with all the love in my heart, I want to express this. Rights were given in the 60s to people of color, and it's only been a handful of decades since then. The idea that anyone since then or several hundred years before then should be over anything that they've felt in their community. I just want you to know that in my view, that idea that someone should be over is not only abusive, it actually doesn't take anything you've gone through in your life very seriously. Any pain that you've felt, anything that's affected the way you see things and affected the way you can show up and breathe in this world, not seeing the humanity of your brother or sister is a really poor way of seeing your own humanity. And from the bottom of my heart, I would like you to love yourself better. If there's anyone that doesn't see um, themselves better than this, it hurts my heart for you. Um, it hasn't been long enough for racial wounds to just be gone. And that's why it affected me the way it did that day. And now in the news with Ahmaud Arbery, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I don't have to know what's gone on to know that that's a human brother of mine that deserves none of my biased focus toward what I do or don't know about this case. It deserves the assumption of his humanity. I appreciate you letting me tell you that story. So for what it's worth, love yourself. Best way to do it. Best way to keep loving yourself is to see your neighbor's humanity. You'll hit the mark every time. You'll honor your own humanity every time you see your neighbor's humanity. And I hope this helps.